Hello, YumFog students. Today I'm going to demonstrate some database search techniques. So I'm on a LibGuide here, and I'm going to start off by searching student resources and context. That's a really great place to start. It is written for high school students, and it compiles a lot of well-known, respectable sources, especially magazines that are kind of more popular magazines, and also some newspapers like the New York Times. Many of the same hints that you saw in the general search strategies also work here. It just happens to be a more curated list. So I'm going to search for teen pregnancy. Notice I'm keeping it in quotation marks. That is certainly something that will limit your sources. Student resources and context, like many databases, will divide up their sources in the following ways: from reference to magazines to news to more academic journals, and they even will curate some websites. And so this is a really great place to start searching. If you have very little background in a topic, you might consider starting with the reference section. Even though some of these sources are going to be a little out of date, they will give you some background information. Now, in my case, I'm going to go to the magazine section because I think that would be really helpful. And I'm going to view all 170 magazine articles in this database on it. Now, you'll notice when you do that, there are further limitations that I can do. So this is really helpful because maybe I'm looking for specifically not just teen pregnancy facts, but like specifically about how sex education and teenage pregnancy go together. So if that's the case, I am going to further limit, and you can click on the button and get more different ways to narrow your search. You can also do it by document or even publication title. So if you find one that you really like, you might end up wanting to pull more articles from that same publication. So those are all things that are really helpful for you. So in this case, let's say I'm going to use this article as one of my sources. Most databases come with citation tools. Please look for them. You do not need to create the citation for a database. It's usually going to come with it. So I'm going to click citation tools, and in this case I do want the MLA citation, and I'm going to hit download. Now a lot of times you'll just pop it open and it'll show it to you. So there it is. There is my citation, and I would import that into EasyBib, or if you have another system you use, we can talk about that. This is SIRS, and one hint is to use the advanced search. So you'll see here that pretty much most of the databases are going to have a way to do advanced search. So once I click on that, I might look for teenage pregnancy. And this is what's really helpful on doing it this way with an advanced search. I can limit the databases I'm looking for, but I can do further limitations. Now, a lot of times what I'm going to do is I will change the way I sort it. Okay, so that is also really helpful to do. So in this case, I'm going to sort by date, and I'm going to do a search. Also, a lot of times you can limit your search by a certain date. Now in this case, it's going to show up a little differently. So if I'm looking specifically for statistics, I'm going to click on that. But you'll notice here that instead of having thousands and thousands of hits like Google does, I have 356 hits. So that's pretty helpful. Once again, I can go into specifically magazines. You'll notice that some of them are going to be the same, and they're sorted by date. And once again, if I want any of those citations, they're going to come with it. So those are some of the hints that you can use. Another hint that you can use is to use a star at the end of a phrase. So one thing about databases is that it does not pull synonyms to search by, and so if you're looking for information on reform education, it could be educators, it could be educating, and it's not going to pull up those same terms necessarily. So one thing you can do is you can put a star at the end of a term. So instead of, it could pull education, educating, and so I'm going to do it like this and then hit search. And so I'm going to, a lot of times, it'll bring up better results, especially when you come in databases. So that's another hint for you today. Of course, if you have any questions, by all means, contact me in the library by text or by email, and I'll be happy to help you.